Karena sekarang right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Engineer Dr. Wahid Omar, Vice Chancellor of UTM at UTM Kuala Lumpur is now watching through live telecast. Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Ahmad Nazri bin Muhammad Adruddin, Director of UTMD. Our distinguished speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Srithar Rajoo, Director of UTM Center for Low Carbon Transportation. Senior University officials, professors, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the UTM sharing session with Dr. Srithar Rajoo, leveraging on international collaboration for R&D, my experience. So I will briefly introduce about this sharing session. LoCARtic was established in 2014 to spur low-carbon transport-related research activities between Imperial College London and UTM. The idea is to leverage on the Imperial College world-class reputation and research expertise for the benefits of UTM in terms of securing funding, industrial network, and publications. Over the last 4 years, LoCARtic has successfully secured multi-million-dollar research funding in collaboration with international companies and published more than 100 index publications. Dr. Srithar Rajoo, as the Director of LoCARtic, will be sharing his experience and learning curve in leveraging on international collaboration for research and development. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we would like to welcome Yang Berbahagia Associate Professor Dr. Srithar Rajoo to the podium to share his experience. Please welcome.
Right, thank you. Thank you. First of all, good morning to Dr. Wahid and all my colleagues in UTM for attending this session. And so, I feel like a VIP, standing in Asia Got Talent. Feels like it. So the only thing left now is maybe I should start singing Bollywood song. But then that will end disastrous for you and me both, you know. So when Dr. Wahid asked me to, give a talk on my experience, I was a bit lost because I was not sure what to say. Because when we first start this center, we didn't have a manual, we didn't have like a guideline what to do and what not to do. So everything that we learn is along the way, something that we make mistakes, we learn, and so on and so forth. So today, I'm not here to teach any one of you on this topic. I'm not an expert in international collaboration. This is just a collection of my experience that we've learned together with my team in making this happen. And how we're going to go forward from my point of view, basically is telling my future self what should I do. And if any of this you find it interesting, useful, take it home with you. I'm very happy. If it's not, at least hopefully I can entertain you this morning. But if you don't agree with any of those, also no problem. We can talk about it after this. Alright? So, first of all, I would like to show an article came out September last year with President Alice Gus. She's the president of Imperial College. She was in Kuala Lumpur last year. And she gave an interview with the reporter, and she highlighted LoCARtic as one of the success stories of collaboration. Because Imperial is all about collaboration. They go and collaborate with everyone. And they believe that collaboration is the one key to the future. And it's good that the president of Imperial College actually acknowledged that LoCARtic is one simple example that how collaboration can happen and can work forward. This was last year in NST. Second, this is the news came out last week in Imperial, web page. So now we have gained 2 different grants, worth over 40 million ringgit. Some of it goes to Imperial College, and now it's highlighted in the Imperial web page. So even at Imperial, they are now starting to acknowledge LoCARtic as a center that produces good results for both UTM and Imperial as well. So this is what in the news, this is where we are now. And so give you a simple example to going back where we start. We started in 2014, okay, and how we started, we got investment from UTM and also from Ministry of Education. So in total, we got about 16 million ringgit to invest in facilities, about 3 million in manpower, and we got location in UTM JB, and we also given a location in UTM Pago, and we operate also from London. So we got three places to operate, and this is how we started in 2014. Coming forward now, 2018, this is our achievement so far. So we have brought in slightly more than 40 million ringgit worth of grant. This grant is all outside from UTM, not UTM's money, and not even government money. This, some of it are industrial money, some of it are trust fund. We have active collaboration with 4 international companies in our area. We have a lot of index publication, a lot of our researchers are working on it. We have 2 patent, joint IP patent between UTM and Imperial College, and we're working on it more. And we have a lot of PhDs and academics, postdocs working on this. So this is kind of a one-page slide to basically show, okay, how we started and where we are now. So Prof. Dato' Wahid wants me to talk how we did this. And I go back and think a lot, because he told me this a month ago, that, okay, you need to give a talk. And I cracked my head. So I couldn't come and answer, because then the only thing I could come up with, which many people do believe, I'm with them, is how we managed to do this is simply probably by being lucky. We're just lucky in what we're doing. We started something, we're lucky to get something, and we got where we are. So you might say that, and I do agree some ways. But if this is the what we call this the reason, then the talk will end here, and that's it. So I go back and think, okay, there must be a reason, you know, how we can do this. Okay, there was no manual. So crack back from start. So let me give you how we actually begin from start. Okay? So the first thing, if you want to leverage on international collaboration, first thing that you need is a good partner that you're going to work with. And this is, I think, is a key. So one thing is, a lot of collaboration happens on the top level, where university and university collaborate and someone is assigned to run the collaboration. When this someone has no personal benefit, that means it's not part of their research, it is running as a managerial, most of the time this will not work. So in our case, what happens is we signed an agreement for the LoCARtic in 2014. But the actual work to find a good partner, it started in 2003 when I joined PhD with Ricardo. So, number one key, I think, how we can make it happen is because I know Ricardo very well, because he was my supervisor. I know how he works, I know what he likes, what he don't like, and his operation, and how it operates, how busy he is. So by knowing that, we can establish a very good relationship. So when we establish this relationship, he, on the other side, worked for the center. I work for the center, rather than we alone push for it. And another thing that we must remember that when we collaborate with big boys like Imperial College, most of the time, you know, we have to push them rather than they pushing us. Because that is the case, because we want them. Why we want them? Because it's a reputation. I will tell you slightly more on that. So, if I want to go back and think like, okay, how we can make this happen is a good partnership. So this is not something easy, so something that you have to dig deeper. Probably your supervisor is the number one, what we call the target for forging partnership, but this might not be true for everyone. Okay? It is true for us, it might not be true for everyone. But most important is find a partner who has a share in the idea. Find a partner that will benefit from the success of the center, rather than a partner who just become a manager. So managing the center from one end to another end, that most probably will not work. This is number one, I think, is the learning curve from my side. Second is, when you want to do partnership with international company or international institution, we must always have value to offer. The hard truth is, we learned that, is Imperial or any big boys, they don't need us, in fact. Because they are already somewhere in the world, they will keep going up, and they will become great because what they're doing. What we want is to be part of that thing. So when we go to negotiate, we have to have something to offer. I'll tell you a story. When we started negotiation for LoCARtic, it was in 2012. The first time it was put forward to the committee in Imperial College, it came back unfavorable. They're not very happy. The reason being is they had bad experience with Malaysians before me, I don't know what happened. So they've been promised something, it was not delivered. So they're not very happy with this, the collaboration will not work. So when we came back, we think, okay, how are we going to convince them? So what we did, we put forward on the table something that they would like. So because I've been in Imperial, I know that they're very good in some research, but they would like to expand, but it's difficult to expand in London. So what happens is we offer that we will set up facility in Malaysia as part of this collaboration that they can make use of. So which means now they have access to facility that they don't need to invest in London, they can just do it here. So that is the value that we put forward on the table for the collaboration to happen. Second is we say we're going to set up one poster position in the college, which will work for Imperial and also for UTM. So that is the value we put forward. So that's very important. So once we put forward that, second time it goes to the committee for evaluation. It came back slightly favorable, but on the term they said, okay, we will agree based on personal collaboration, means the collaboration that I and Ricardo have. We will see how it works, and if it works, they will continue. If it doesn't work, it is not. So that is the value we put forward. So I realized that when you want to work as much as we know, we must realize where we stand. We are where we are, and we work with, let's say, want to work with Imperial or any other big university, you know where they stand. So you must come to a level that there is something they need that we can offer. Without that, it's very difficult to bring them to a discussion, to a table. I think that's what we did quite well. So it took us about 2 years negotiation. So 2012 we start, and then only 2014 we managed to actually sign the agreement, and it was signed by Dr. White on January 22nd, 2014 in London. So now that we have value to offer, and then we already get the approval. Second is, this was very important for me because when I say got value to offer, I don't have pocket money to offer, right? I don't have 60 million in my pocket that I can tell them that, okay, I'm going to give you 60 million, no. So it has to come from the university and from the, so this was very important. At that time, even now, the top management was very supportive. They can see the benefit of this collaboration. So when the first time it came out unfavorable, I came back, discussed with the top management, and we got some agreement that, okay, we could put this on the table. And that was agreed. So if the top management didn't agree, this would not happen. I would not be standing here talking to you at all. So that was agreed. But having said that, it's also a huge responsibility because this is not small money. Money to put it on the table. It could go either way. On a parallel universe, I could be standing here justifying myself why I spent so much money without bringing anything to the UTM. Lucky for me, again, I'm going back to luck, that I'm standing here, that we bring net benefit to UTM by the investment that has been made so far. So this is the second, I would say, the third, I would say, the point that makes how LoCARtic could be where it is now. The fourth is, okay, we already done the agreement, all done, and where we go forward now. So when you go forward, that's very important is we have competent and committed people. So many actually think LoCARtic is a one-man show. Actually, people have told me to my face, hey, LoCARtic is one-man show. To tell you the truth, even if I'm a robot with the most advanced AI built into myself, I could not achieve what we achieved so far. Because this involves different dimension of thinking, different dimension of work, people are different layers doing different things. So one person can't do. And we were a bit lucky that we got all the people to do the work. These are some of the stuff that now works in LoCARtic. And if you look at that, one key element that I would say is diversification. So we got people from different gender, different race, different religion, different nationality, and all of them have their own unique capability. And we have to hire people based on their capability, because we have hired people from industry, direct from industry, have more than 10 years, Dr. Azman. And by just hiring him, our center now has knowledge base slightly higher than someone else. So when we go and talk to the industry, we can talk what industry will do because we know, because he knows he's been working in industry for 12 years. Second, we hire someone who has a very different background from us, come on from robotics. So people ask, why you want to hire someone robotics? Okay, if we hire everyone with the same brain and same thinking, then there's only certain level you're going to think, you can't actually grow. To grow, you need different level of thinking, different level of knowledge. So we hire people from different, and we have to justify to UTM why you want to hire these people. And sometimes you have to hire with a different pay scale than what UTM will give, because they got better opportunity out there. But we want them to come and work for us. So we have to give them slightly more. So these are the things that you have to do, or I have to do, to make it happen. Because if you follow the norm, and most of the time you end up with a known outcome. So if you want to have a different outcome, probably you have to think out of the box. And that's one of the things that probably we have done quite well, think out of the box, getting people from different, what you call background, to join our team, to work with us. And from that, we have come so far. Second, I would say, is open for opportunity. This is the story behind it. In 2016, end of 2016, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, the head of R&D Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, told us that, okay, we want to come and visit your lab. The reason being is, we've been drumming up about LoCARtic to them for about 2 years. Oh, LoCARtic can do this, LoCARtic can do that. So the Japanese, they think, okay, what is this guy talking about? What is it about LoCARtic? Okay, I want to come and visit. And he said he's only free on a Saturday. I said, fine, okay, come, we'll open the lab for you. But at the same time, we got a call from a funding agency, which is MTJA, Malaysian Thailand Joint Authority, to submit a proposal on the Monday and come and present on Monday. So we were thinking to ourselves, oh man, we got the head of R&D of MHI, it's a big company, coming and visit us. We are fully occupied. At the same time, we have to do a proposal to present on Monday. Okay, this is what I'm saying. So we could have easily said that, okay, we don't want to do this now, we go for the second cycle. But Ricardo and I think that, okay, no, we do it, it doesn't matter, we do it. So we did it with the help of our staff. So on Saturday, we hosted the R&D head of MHI, showed him everything the whole day. Next day, he had a meeting with the management of UTM. And on Sunday night, before they fly out, we have to go out dinner with them. By the time it ended, it's 10 o'clock. Only then we start putting in the proposal. So I didn't sleep the whole day, all night. Until 6 o'clock morning, first flight to KL, in the flight, still working on the proposal. Get down, KL Transit Express, still working on the proposal. Get an Uber to MTJ office, still working on the proposal. When we got out from the Uber, only then we convert the proposal to PDF and we submitted it. And it was very stressful, but at that time we thought, okay, opportunity doesn't come very easily, we have to grab it. We went and presented, Ricardo was there with me, we presented the first round, okay. And then after that, within 6 months, after 2 or 3 evaluations, we got the money, which is about 4.89 million USD. So, if at that point, we focused just on MHR, which was very important, and we thought, okay, that's going to be very difficult, we're not going to let go of this opportunity. I'll be standing here talking about less than 20 million value. So this is what I say, opportunity comes every now and then, and when it comes, it always comes in a difficult position. This is what I found. You just have to slog through it to make it happen. That's one thing that we realize. Another story I want to tell is, every now and then we have to work outside our comfort zone. Okay, this is another story of another grant. Okay? So another opportunity comes by that we could submit a proposal, but this proposal is for a topic that is not our topic. It's not something that I'm used to, I don't know anything about it. So it's on electricity generation. I basically know jack about electricity generation, I don't know how electricity. So we were thinking, okay, now, shall we let go or shall we try to do it? So we sit down and think, okay, what we can do with electricity generation? After thinking for a while, we realized that transport is going electrification. Not fully electric, I don't believe in that, but some level of electrification. So why not be putting something that some religion to it? But we cannot do it on our own. So we have to go and learn. So we learn a bit how electricity works and whatnot. And we bring in partner. And we brought in Unitan to help us to draft the proposal. Again, when we're drafting the proposal, there was a lot of things we don't understand, and there were a lot of questions like, what LoCARtic is doing here? So this is what I'm saying, working out of your comfort zone. Because normally when you go and put in a proposal in your area, people know you very well, people know, oh, okay, LoCARtic know what they're doing. But here we are working with, people think, what LoCARtic knows about this? But we have to work harder to prove the point that we can do it. But with our partner, we cannot do it alone. So we managed to put in, again, gone through the proposal defense, tough proposal defense, because a lot of questions that we need to think a lot to answer. And fortunately, we got the grant as well, which was announced last month. Still in the process of doing the agreement, but it'll be announced. It's between we, UNITAN, and Imperial College. That's another 21 million worth of grant. So again, at that point when the opportunity comes by, we thought this is out your comfort zone, we can't do, we couldn't have got the grant. But we went out of the way and we acquired some new knowledge. And this is what I mean, that you have to be prepared to work outside your comfort zone. This is something that I tell myself all the time, and I also tell my staff all the time. And this is where the most important thing comes in. Okay. In some areas, especially in our area, big boys or big companies don't really look at it because we are not known to be the top research entity when it comes to transport research. We are not known. But Imperial is. Okay? So big companies go knock Imperial's door, but we have to go knock people's door. That's the difference. So by having this collaboration, what really happens is they actually open their eyes to us. So when I say MHI R&D head comes to UTM, the reason why he comes is he wants to know why Imperial is working with UTM. Because they know Imperial is good, but why Imperial is working with UTM? They never heard of UTM. So that's why they want to come and see. This is the head of R&D, it's a big multi-billion-dollar company. So when he come and see, we actually demonstrated the whole thing. And when he went back, he told his staff that after this, all engine research, including turbo, we do it with UTM. So that's what I mean, that we have to prove our worth. So international collaboration with Imperial College or any other top university will bring you to the door. But you get in, whether you get out with a contract or not, that is totally up to us. So we have to prove our worth. And proof of worth works both ways. Like for instance, in Japanese, it's all about loyalty. It takes a very long time to gain loyalty, but once you gain loyalty, they stay with you. Okay? And I personally have worked in projects with a Japanese company while at Imperial College, at least about 4 or 5 years. So they know what we do. And after that, another 2 years of convincing that we have something in UTM for them to come and see, and then finally they come and see, 6 years in total. But if we don't have collaboration with Imperial College, they wouldn't have even looked at us. That's the fact that we have to realize. So this is where the leveraging comes in. So collaboration is all nice, but you have to work extra to make use of the collaboration. That's what I mean by leveraging international collaboration for R&D. So you have to use the opportunity, basically get into the door, because they'll get you to the door for sure, but then you have to prove. And this works both ways. So now we have projects with 2 big Japanese companies and 1 big German company, with a lot of you likes to drive their car. I won't say the name. And how we can work with them, because we managed to prove their worth. But why we can prove their worth, why they can listen to us, because they know we work with Imperial College. So they know why Imperial College work with them. So this is what I mean, that when you work with the big boys, you can use this as a stepping stone to come to a point that then you have to prove your worth. Just by collaboration, normally people don't come to you, but after that you still have to prove your worth. And this is what I mean by that's one thing. So because of all the things that we did, okay, the collaboration started 2014, we're supposed to end in 2019, which is January next year, is the last of collaboration. But within the last 4 years and plus, we managed to get a lot of projects, and because of this project, now we're working on the draft to continue this collaboration. So it's going to continue at least to 2022. So Imperial is very happy with us, because when they first start, they start with a doubt. Are you sure you can do it? Okay, let's try. But we managed to prove our worth. So after this, any collaboration when it comes to Malaysia in general from Imperial College, they come to us. Because we have come to a point that we have shown that we can deliver. We did deliver both for UTM and for Imperial College. So in overall, what I'm trying to say here is no gain without giving. In all the collaboration that we have now with international companies especially, we first start working with them pro bono, for free. So when I meet these people, okay, they know we got a center with Imperial College, and I always offer to them, okay, let me help you for free. My staff don't like it because they always do a lot of work without getting anything, but we have to do for free. That's why I say proof of work. So we have to give them something. I told them, okay, why not you just sign an NDA with me? You give me your data, I'll work for you something, and then if it works out, we think about moving forward. This is the first thing that we always do. And because of doing that, we got these 3 companies we are working with. It's all started with pro bono. So you have to give to get something back. And the whole thing is you have to start for free first. You must do something for them to know what you can do and what you cannot do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Like for instance, I do 10 things, only 2 things works out. Most of the time 8 doesn't work out. But it doesn't matter. The 2 that works out normally compensate for the rest of the effort that you put in. So what I can tell myself and tell whoever listening is it's always must strive. So when you know you don't have the standing, you always must give in first, come to a center point, and then try to gain something. So, in overall, I'm standing here, talking to you, with Dr. Wahid there listening. Looks like where are we now? It definitely feels like we basically we've done it. We achieved it. It's good, all good. But every now and then, obviously almost every time, I have to knock myself to say that the reality is we have gone somewhere, but still a long way to go. Because we've got all this grant, we have to do the work. It's not easy. Because if you don't achieve, it's basically going to reflect very bad for UTM. We're going to reflect very bad for Imperial College. That means that's the end. Okay, and so very good, very rosy. If you think that I'm talking here, so nice. It's not. It's still got a lot of work to do. We need a lot of all our people to be very committed. Luckily, everyone in my team is quite committed to do what they're doing. And so we have to keep slog. But can we follow exactly what we did before to go forward? That's the question I ask myself. So what we need to actually move forward? So, and again, I think a lot about this, and I'm thinking only one thing comes to my mind: how are we going to move forward? So to move forward, I basically have to stay lucky. Okay, this is the thing. I think so. But then it's not the lucky that you and I will think. So what I'm really trying to mean is we have to keep learning, because we are venturing into new area. Sometimes in our area, sometimes it's outside our area. Things are changing. AI coming into picture, big data coming into picture. We have to keep learning. Because so we are not an expert. I'm not an expert. Even though I've done this for, let's say, over 15 years, 20 years, still I'm not an expert. Still learning. You keep learning. And then you have to understand your domain. So for instance, if you want to get contracts from international company, you have to think like them. When you go and talk to them, I realize that you cannot talk like how we operate here. You have to talk from their point of view, what they will need. You have to understand what they will need. What we do can help them. So you have to understand the domain to get a contract, especially if you want to get international company contract. It's not easy for them to give you money, but once you get to the domain, you can. Third is you have to create opportunity. Opportunity comes every now and then, but it's not always. You have to create environment. So for instance, some of the grants that we got is purely due to the fact that when I meet people, I invite them to go and visit Imperial College. Even though I'm not part of Imperial College, I don't care. I told them, okay, well, if you're in a time, you go to Imperial College. And once or twice it happens, they call me, oh, I'm in London, I want to visit. So we arrange a visit. Once they visit Imperial College, they get excited. And when they get excited, they say, okay, can we work together in Imperial College? And because if they're from Malaysia, all right, talk to LoCARtic. That's it. And then we start talking. And then things come to. So this is what I mean, that you have to create environment for opportunity to happen. Opportunity comes every now and then, but sometimes you have to create the opportunity. And like I said, not everything you do will work. Okay, 10 things, only 2 things work. Okay, another 8 doesn't work. So you have to keep on it. You can't give it up. That's what I tell myself. I have to give it up. I can't. And finally, if I do all these things, hopefully every now and then, not like ultimate, we always have simple achievement. Every now and then, I can celebrate. Okay, every now and then. So in this respect, I was not joking when I first said how we get where we are is by being lucky. This is what we did. So the only thing I can tell myself and tell my colleagues in UTM is stay lucky, but lucky in terms of what I mentioned earlier. And with that, I thank you for listening.